What's up everyone, I'm Calamontoast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing a really fast-paced team for the Mountain Cup. Unfortunately, this probably isn't going to be a quick team you can run for the Go Battle Day because all three require trades to be usable. Kartana was available as a research encounter for the Ultra Beast event a while back, but for it to be Great League eligible, you have to trade for the IVs to go down. Hisuian Arcanine requires you to trade with a very low level account for it to fit in the Great League, and Dugtrio actually has an unobtainable legacy move in Mudshot, so if you don't have one now, you'll only be able to get it through trading. Now if you're wondering, well, what's the point in showcasing this team if none of us will be able to use it? Well, I like to run unique and spicy teams on this channel, and this is no exception. Speaking of spice, it's Go Battle Day today, so as usual I'm running the Battle of Spice competition. Entries will close tomorrow night, so make sure you get your submission in fast. To find out more about the competition and submit your entry, visit the link in the description. And with that being said, let's get into the question of the day. Which Pokemon do you wish was a lot more accessible for the Great League? Maybe it's a Pokemon that exclusively hatches from eggs and needs to be well below level 20 for it to fit under 1500 CP. Maybe it's a legendary that was available from research at level 15 over 3 years ago that is very hard to find now, or maybe it's just a regional Pokemon that unfortunately you're not able to catch in your local region. Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, this is actually the first battle I did with this team. I actually tried out another team initially, didn't work out very well, and I did lose my first two battles, but I made a significant adjustment, and here is the first battle with this team. Now we bait out a Ferrothorn, and unfortunately I don't get to the Mud Bomb before they reach a charge move, so I just let the Dugtrio go down. Gonna wait out my switch slot, come in with Hisuian Arcanine, fully Fire Fang, farm them down before they get to a charge move. They come back in with the Camerupt, and even though an Earth Power would easily one-shot us, and even though they debuff me here, we double resist the Incinerate damage, so it's actually a fairly comfortable matchup when we still have two shields. But to make it even more comfortable, I'm going to swap, catch the charge move on Kartana. It one-shots us, but it doesn't matter. I'm reading that Arcanine's going to be strong against their backline, and they have a Credilli in the back, so unfortunately one of the only grass types that takes neutral damage from fire, but it's still not going to be enough to save them here. As I've landed a Rock Slide, I can safely shield a Grass Knot, and they don't make it to another charge move, so I'm able to Fire Fang, farm them down, and take that game. Into the next game, we see Diggersby in the lead. Pretty good lead for us. Of course, a Fire Punch will absolutely one-shot us here, so I have to shield. Fire Punch comes through, and now I'm going to be able to get to a Leaf Blade just before they make it to the second Fire Punch. And if they do shield here, then I'm going to swap, catch the move onto my Dugtrio. Dugtrio is the safe swap. I think it's a very flexible Pokemon. And here we bait out a Frost Slash, but we're running Stone Edge. My opponent probably not seen a Dugtrio before, and they don't respect the damage coming from Stone Edge. I'm able to one-shot them, and they've got Escavalier in the back, so this is a pretty common team, a team that I was hoping to see with my last team quite a lot. Unfortunately, only saw it once, but it doesn't matter. Drill Run takes us out, but I can safely Razor Leaf farm down both Pokemon and take that game. Into the next game, we see Runerigus in the lead. This is a good lead for us, and my opponent's staying in, so that's awesome for me. And Sand Tomb is one of the only charge moves that we can at least comfortably tank. I'm expecting them to try and snipe me with something, so I swap into my Dugtrio. It is the safe swap after all. They come in with Shadow Scizor here. I'm going to be able to get to the back-to-back Mud Bombs in time, and we're going to see what the opponent wants to do. They shield the first one. I win the CMP tie for the second charge move, and this Mud Bomb actually takes out the Scizor. They come in with a Wall Rain here, and we're still looking to be reasonably comfortable. All I have to do is shield up the next charge move. I don't care if they bait me or not. I need to get to a Rock Slide here, and this will guarantee the win here, unless they make a great catch, of course. We go for the Rock Slide. This grabs the final shield, and if you remember, we are very close to a charge move on my Kartana. Earthquake takes me out here. I'm going to go for the farm down. I get the farm down. We have a Leaf Blade loaded, and this will easily be enough to take out the Runerigus, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to my opponent there. And after a pretty poor start, we switched up the team and we go 3 wins in a row. We now lead into Quagsire. My opponent swaps into a Magneton, and we've got an incredible response here in Dugtrio. I can let this charge move go through. We actually... that does a lot of damage, but I'm perfectly able to fully farm them down before they reach the next charge move. I've got a lot of energy, not a lot of health. That's pretty much the perfect scenario here. We go for a Mud Bomb. It doesn't do much damage. I think Stone Edge might actually do more damage here, so I go for the Stone Edge. It looks pretty even there. Probably didn't really matter which one I throw. I'm able to Razor Leaf, farm them down, and they have Escavalier in the back. I'm able to Fire Fang, farm them down, and take that game. Opponent probably thought they got algorithm there because I completely hard countered them with the most random team possible, but that's how it goes sometimes. Into the next game, we see an Escavalier. Gonna swap into my Dugtrio. Unfortunately, because I swap, that takes a turn, so I won't make it to a Stone Edge before they get to the charge move, so I do make sure I throw straight away, but they actually let it go through, and they're also staying in, which is quite interesting here. We go for a Mud Bomb, we take them out, they come in with Quagsire, and I'm very confused as to why they stayed in here. If they've got Quagsire in the back, they're going to go for a farm down. I'm going to come in with Kartana. 2 Razor Leafs does massive damage. I might as well shield here. Not sure what they've got in the back. They go for the Earthquake, and they've got a Stunfisk in the back. And we're going to swap, try to catch a Mud Bomb, but the opponent holds on to their energy. And this is quite dangerous here. Mud Bomb takes me out. Can we get the farm down? They get to another charge move. Do we live a Mud Bomb from this range? Yes, we do, just barely. That still did so much damage, but I'm able to take that game. Into next game, another Quagsire. Very nice lead for me here. My opponent's actually staying in. They eventually swap out into Fire Fang Hippowdon. I have to get the heck out of there. I swap into my Dugtrio. Gonna go for the Mud Bomb here, and this nearly puts them into range to farm down, but they get to a charge move. I'm going to shield it up. Probably going to be a Rock Weather Ball. It was, unfortunately, so we could have actually lived that, but I didn't want to take the risk. I'm now going to go for the Stone Edge again. Can we land it again? Yes, we can. We take out the Frost Sash, and that's going to be game over. We even make it to another Mud Bomb. Doesn't matter. They actually do shield it up here. I tried to swap out, but once again, it doesn't matter. I'm going to tank the energy onto my Arcanine. It actually doesn't take us out, so I swap out now. We Razor Leaf, farm down the Quagsire, and I'm able to take that game. Now into the next battle, we see a Froslass in the lead. This is fairly neutral here, but I can safely just shield once and then fully Razor Leaf farm them down. What I don't want to do is swap out and then get my Dugtrio aligned to it. My opponent's actually going to swap out here, swapping into a Galarian Stunfisk. So I swap into my Dugtrio after grabbing a shield back. Gonna go for the Mud Bomb on the CMB tie with the Earthquake. Unfortunately, that doesn't quite do enough damage where they'll be able to, or where I'll be able to farm them down here, so I'm gonna have to overfarm a lot and then go for the Mud Bomb just before they make it to another Earthquake here. Mud Bomb does take out the Stunfisk, and my opponent's probably going to come back in with their Frost Sash here. We're just going to go for a Mud Bomb. They are in Mud Bomb range, and Mud Bomb does grab the final shield from the opponent. They go for the farm down, but they actually swap and they catch perfectly onto the Diggersby. So very nice play by the opponent. I swap out, try to get as much Razor Leaf damage as possible onto the Diggersby, and I'm hoping they're in range now where I can Fire Fang, farm them down just before they make it to an Earthquake. It's going to be very close here. We go for the farm down. Can we get there? My opponent throws one move too soon. It's just going to be a Fire Punch. It's double resisted. They actually would have made it to the Earthquake, but they had a move loaded on the Frost Sash, and unfortunately, it's just an Avalanche, and we get to the rock side here, and I'm going to be able to take out the Frost Sash and take that game. So I'm pretty sure they had enough energy for a Shadow Ball there, so I definitely should have lost that game, but not sure if my opponent forgot and panicked, couldn't remember which side their charge move was on. But into the next game, we see a Steel Wing Skarmory. And that's very interesting. I think it probably does a lot better up against like Froslass, but otherwise I don't really know why you'd run it. We go for a second Stone Edge here. The opponent calls the bait and I'm able to just flip switch advantage up against this Lucario lead. Come in with my Arcanine, they farm up a ton of energy, throw right before they go down. They actually go for a Shadow Ball and they come in with a Camerupt, and once again we do double resist the Incinerate damage. They're going to go for a full farm down. I'm now going to swap out, and because we get the Razor Leaf through there, they're still not going to be able to land another Incinerate, so I'm able to Razor Leaf, farm down the Camerupt, and take that game. So there I go, 5-0 in that set. A few interesting teams towards the end of that set, but into the next battle we see a Frostlass in the lead. Gonna stay in once again, shield once, fully farm down the Frostlass unless they do make a swap. And my opponent is choosing to stay in there, so that's fine. Gonna swap out instantly. They come in with Escavalier. I bait out a Wall Rain, and I'm gonna go for the Stone Edge. Can we land it yet again? Yes, we can. Unfortunately, it doesn't KO this time around, but it does not matter. They've only got an Escavalier left, so we can Fire Fang, farm down the Wall Rain, and I'm gonna be able to Fire Fang, farm down the Escavalier, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see another Frostlass in the lead. Gonna play it out exactly the same as before. Go for the one shield full farm down. They're gonna go for the charge move straight away, gonna shield it up, and unless they swap out, we're just gonna be able to fully farm them down. And once again, gonna instantly swap into my Dugtrio. They come in with Escavalier once again, and this time they're staying in, so a little bit different here. Gonna go for the Mud Bomb. We grab a shield from the opponent. Gonna reach another Mud Bomb, and it looks like it's a CMP tie up against the Escavalier. They let it go through, and I can safely let Dugtrio go down. Drill Run does actually go undercharged. Very nice play by the opponent, but I can come in with my Arcanine here and I should be able to farm them down. We go for Fire Fang. Actually, they get to a charge move. That is absolutely clutch for the opponent, and they've got a Whiscash in the back, and they just concede the match there. And I think that they would have been able to get to a Mud Bomb, take out my Kartana, and still probably would have been able to farm down my Growlithe. My Arcanine, sorry. So I think my opponent definitely should have stayed in there, but I'm certainly happy to take that win there. But into the next game, we see Diggersby in the lead, and this time I make a big mistake. You see their health. I could have taken them out with one more Razor Leaf. I wasn't even looking at that. I just remembered from the previous Diggersby matchup, it wasn't quite enough damage, but that clearly wasn't an XL or fully XL Diggersby. And yeah, that's actually going to be costly in this battle. My opponent also catching a Mud Bomb onto their Lapras. Very nice catch there, and that also really doesn't help with me. But we're going to come back in with the Kartana here, and we should be able to live a Surf. It is resisted, but honestly, it's going to still do quite a lot of damage. And we do get 3 more Razor Leafs in, and that puts them into farm down range. And now can we Fire Fang, farm down this Escavalier to take yet another game? It's going to be very close, but unfortunately they live with 1 HP. Get off the Drill Run, double super effective. It takes out my Arcanine, and I do finally lose a battle with this team. So GG's to my opponent, very well played. Into next game, we see Macargo in the lead. Gonna swap into my Dugtrio. The opponent responds with a Frostlass. I'm gonna throw on the CMP tie with their Avalanche. And yet again, we one-shot the Frostlass. Nobody knows that we've got Stone Edge here on the Dugtrio. We go for a Mud Bomb now. They come back in with Macargo, so that's a very strange decision. And we're gonna be able to get both shields from the Macargo. But the problem now is that they've got 100 energy, and Macargo loaded especially is going to be very difficult for me to take out. I'm not going to be able to fast move farm them down here, and I will have to double shield to get rid of this Macargo. Gonna shield the second time here, and they go for another Rock Tomb, of course. They now swap into Stunfisk. My attack was lowered, and if I swapped out a bit sooner, you're going to see that might actually have made a difference. Earthquake one-shots me. I'm going to be able to throw on the CMP tie, but Rock Slide is double resisted by Stunfisk, and it's just not enough damage to take them out. And a Rock Slide from Stunfisk will easily take out my Hisuian Arcanine, and I do lose that game. So GG's to that opponent there. After a 10-game win streak, we end up losing back-to-back battles. Into the next game, we see Empoleon in the lead. They swap into a Skarmory. This time they are running the traditional move of Air Slash here. They go for a Brave Bird, and I'm going to be able to fully Fire Fang, farm them down, get to a Wild Charge, throw it blindly. They come back in with Empoleon, so that's great. Either grabs a shield or does big damage. We do grab a shield advantage. It's looking pretty good so far. They're going to go for a charge move here, and you can see the waterfall damage, even resisted, is seriously adding up. They go for a Drill Peck, swap into Frostlass, and at this point, I can just go for the Night Slash here. The opponent lets it go through, and now I can just fully farm them down, and I can go for one more Razor Leaf, and at this range, I'm going to be able to Mud Shot, farm them down with Dugtrio. The opponent recognizes that, and they concede the match. Into next battle, we see an Abomasnow in the lead, and they're actually running Razor Leaf as well, so battle of the Razor Leaf users. We're obviously going to win CMP tie here with the Kartana. We go for a Night Slash. Unfortunately, that doesn't do that much damage up against the Abomasnow. I'm going to shield and then fully farm them down, but the opponent swaps into Lapras, so I'm just going to get off as much Razor Leaf damage as possible, and we nearly took out the Lapras here, but unfortunately I'm going to have to tank a Surf onto my Dugtrio here, and Surf does quite a lot of damage. I tried to farm them down, I'm actually not going to be able to, so I have to swap into my Arcanine, and the opponent's running a Smackdown Shadow Tyranitar there, so very spicy Pokemon to have in the bag, and it absolutely destroyed my Arcanine, farms down the Dugtrio, and my opponent takes that game. Into next game, we see a Gastrodon in the lead, and oh my gosh, look at that damage there. The opponent's going to come in with Macargo, we swap into the Dugtrio, and we bait out another Water and Ice type Pokemon. We go for Stone Edge once again, they let it go through, but unfortunately it's not quite enough damage to take out Lapras. Lapras is a little bit bulkier than Walrein, and they're going to be able to one shield and farm me down. I'm going to wait out the switch clock here and then come in with my Kartana. We get the Razor Leaf through. We already know we do live a Surf, but the switch clock isn't quite up yet. I can't swap out, and they get an Incinerate farm down. And now this is going to be an incredibly close battle here. Incinerate, much better energy generation move than Fire Fang. So even though we had the shield advantage here, it's going to be incredibly tight. We go for the Rock Slide, grab the final shield from the opponent. I now know they are 2 Incinerates away from the final Rock Tomb to take me out. Gonna go for the charge move here. We get there on the CMP tie. Incredibly close battle, but Rock Slide takes out the Macargo, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Kartana into Escavalier. Gonna instantly swap into the Dugtrio. The opponent is actually choosing to stay in. Once again, gonna go for my Mud Bomb just before they go for a charge move here. And the opponent shields up. And I'm expecting them to go for a full farm down. So now I can full send the Stone Edge. Will they let it go through? Yes, they do. And we one-shot yet another Pokemon with our Dugtrio. Even make it to a Mud Bomb here up against this Marsh Stomp. I can come in with my Kartana now, and we're going to see what the opponent wants to do here. We're able to, oh my gosh, they've got Quagsire in the bag, and they just have to concede the match there. So GG's to that opponent. And into the final battle, we lead into another Macargo. Awful lead once again. Go for one Razor Leaf, swap into my Dugtrio. We bait out a Whiscash, and this isn't as good because we can't really hit it with that Stone Edge, but we go for a Mud Bomb. It does some decent damage here, and another Mud Bomb will pretty much put them into farm down range. So I go for the Mud Bomb here, and I'm gonna respect the Blizzard, put my shield up. It is a Blizzard, that's awesome for me. I go for the farm down, they make it to a Mud Bomb. I don't know if this KOs or not, so I do shield it up, and I do go down 2 shields, 2 flip switch there. They come in with a Frost Sash. I can go for a Stone Edge. Do they respect it? Yes, they finally respect the damage from Stone Edge, but I will be able to grab both shields from this Frost Sash, but it's now not looking so great. I think I might have to catch a charge move here. I was expecting them to overfarm a bit more than that, and unfortunately Shadow Ball does so much damage that I'm just not going to be able to win this game here. I don't quite make it, and actually I think the opponent intentionally overfarmed there, so I might have actually made it to the Rock Slide in time, which is really frustrating for me, but unfortunately that's how it goes. We go for the Rock Slide, we take out the Macargo, but they've still got a half health Frost Slash. They're able to Powder Snow, farm me down, and take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And also, if you want to enter the Battle of Spice competition, don't forget to do your spicy battle today and submit your entry using the link in the description, or if you check on the community tab, I will have a post there also containing a link for the submission form. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that being said, let's get into the shoutouts from my previous video. So firstly, we've got Akbar Brasetio, who says, the Shadow Electivire family. The baby, not Shadow because it can't be Shadow unfortunately, became the 3rd shield. But that is a pretty crazy triple family team there, so very cool. Next we got Robo Sparkle, who says Hondo Teddiursa with Lick, Shiny Shadow Ursaring as my counter user, and Ursaluna with double punch for coverage. Had it for a bit in the early season and it was a lot of fun, so another trio of family Pokemon there, so also another very cool one. And finally we got Toxic Burn, who says I ran Rock'n'Roller and Boldore in Great League and got a few wins with it, but didn't do well after a while, and that's a really odd choice to go for, especially since they didn't use Gigalith, which would have been a lot easier to build. But yeah, very interesting and very unique family duo there. And as for my weirdest family team I've obviously ran the Archon and Archeops, done a lot of duos before. I think the only like triple family team I've run is the Machop family with Purified Machop and then Shadow Machoke and Shiny Shadow Machamp. But yeah, I don't think I've done anything else with all three Pokemon in the same family, so I'm probably going to go for that. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.